Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Bhagavad Gita series. Thank you for being here. Yeah. And we will get started with Mangalacharan. Mangalacharan is very important because it brings auspiciousness and success. And success in this case is good understanding of Bhagavad Gita. That is success. So we pray for our success from the previous acharyas, Lord Krishna, and all his associates. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. So I'll quickly flash this slide. Yeah. Okay. So chapter 11, we are going to conclude this chapter today. Very quick points that Lord Krishna shows three different forms. Of course, Lord Krishna form, Lord Vishnu, and the universal form. And we will see the significance of seeing the Lord in these various forms. We went into a long discussion last time about the universal form. And so we completed till verse 44, I believe. We will start from 45. So Arjun saw the universal form, and that's what he wanted to see, how the Lord is present in the material world. He was not fully aware what he was going to see. So in that sense, he didn't know what he was asking for or what he was getting himself into. And when the Lord showed him that form, of course, he gave him Divya Chakshu. We also discussed sort of the devotional meaning, that it was more of a downgrade rather than an upgrade. We will see that right now. I mean, technically speaking, downgrade is more uncomfortable. Upgrade is more comfortable. Like they tell you, right? We are upgrading you from economy class to business class. Nobody says we are downgrading you from economy to business. So upgrade is supposed to be more comfortable, more pleasing. So technically speaking, Arjuna was upgraded with his Divya Chakshu, but it was a downgrade because it was very displeasing and very troublesome for Arjuna. It is like somebody was downgraded from business class to economy class. So then Arjun makes a request that please, I've had enough of this. Please get me back into or please show me your original sweet form, including the Vishnu form. So that's where we are. So we will start from verse number 45 today, which is somewhere right here. Arjuna's prayers in awe and reverence, and that includes last two ones, 45 and 46, is Arjuna's request. So we will see that. So Arjuna's vision, and 45 and 46 is Arjuna's request. Am I sharing the slides, Shalu Mataji? Yes. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, thank you. So 45 and 46. We will go through these verses. So we have from 45 to 55. That's 11 verses. We will go through them. These are extremely important verses. Some of the most important verses in Bhagavad Gita. Of course, this whole Bhakti section is itself very important. But this section is extremely important and has enough material to spend some serious amount of time on. So we will start with 45 and 46 to see what Arjun wants to see. Okay. So now the meter is the same as before. It's not Anushtubh. So since the mood is different, the meter is different. It is Indra Vajra or Upendra Vajra. There is one syllable difference only in the beginning. Upa means small or minor, so it's the small syllable, and if it is the large or the long Guru syllable, then it is Indra Vajra or Upendra Vajra. Upa Indra means the small, starts with the small syllable. Anyway, Adrishta. So Adrishta. Next line is Bhayena. Bha is small. Is small. Anyway, this is for those who are interested in the Chanda. But Hasini is here. Probably not. Okay. How we sing this? Purvam dhrishitosmi drishva bhayena cha pravyathitam mano me tadeva me darshya deva rupam prasida devesha jagan nivasa. So that is the meter. It's 11 syllables. And there are multiple ways to sing it. This is just one of the ways that me and my wife sing in usually. So anyway, let's get to the essence. So Adrishta Purvam. So first of all, he says Adrishta Purvam, this never before seen form. Rishitosmi Drishtva. On seeing this Drishtva, Rishito Asmi. I am very happy. So Arjun is happy on seeing this. So he's saying that because he's seeing the Lord. So happiness is due to his original prema. Even to see your beloved in a very ferocious form is also, one is happy, like Prahlad Maharaj. He saw his beloved Lord Vishnu in the Narsingha form. He was very happy and composed, whereas everybody else who did not have that level of prema as Prahlad Maharaj or Bhakta Prahlad, the young boy, they could not see that sweetness in that form. Only Prahlad could see it the most. So in the same way, Arjuna is happy because of his prema, but also he is bhayena cha pravyathitam manome. In my heart, in my mana, I am also bhayena. I'm also scared. I'm also afraid. It's like a horror movie, we get scared sometimes, we go into a horror movie, we think we will enjoy, After the first 15 minutes, then we think, why am I here? And, I have not seen a horror movie in like maybe 30 years now. But I remember, one time I walked out. It was too, I don't know which one it was, but whatever. So, bhayena cha pravyathitam mano me. Then he says that, please show me. So this is the mixed nature, the mixed reaction. And he is afraid as well as he is happy. So then please show me. Tadeva me darshya deva rupam prasida devesha jagan nivasa. Oh, jagan nivasa. Nivasa means the residence. So the residence of the whole universe, or the whole universe, in whom the whole universe resides. That is jagan nivasa. So, O jagan nivasa, O devesha, deva esha, the lord of the devas. And the same he says, darshaya in the previous line, tadeva me darshaya deva rupam. So please show me your deva rupa. So here he is saying that please show me your form as the supreme personality of Godhead. That is how Srila Prabhupada is translating. It refers to the Vishnu form of the Lord. And that he will make it very clear. Last time he made a mistake. He says he was not sure what he wants to see. Now he's saying, show me this Devarupa. Devarupa means basically a form in which he is the Lord of all the Devas. Krishna is not known as the Devesha, the Isha, or the Lord of the Devatas. He is just a simple boy who steals butter and who does all these naughty things. Nobody really cares that he is the Lord of the Devas. So that form, that sweetness of Krishna does not evoke the feelings of Devesha. Lord Narayana is Devesha. So he's saying, show me the Devarupa. That Devarupa, that form which is the Lord of the Devas. Okay. And in whom the whole world resides, Jagan Nivasa. So the Narayan form. So please show me this form. And in what's going on? Are you still seeing the screen sharing? Okay. So, and then in this time, he's being very specific. He doesn't want to go wrong. That Krishna should not show something else. He has read about it. He has heard about it. This four-handed form. So he's saying that one, like I went to last time I went to India, my friend told me, get me those candies which you get in a square box, which are like oval and which have a almond inside and something like that. He wanted those very specific chocolates. So, you know, so I got like that. I even FaceTimed him and I said, is this the one you want? He said, yes, that's the one I want. So something that is very rare. I mean, you get lots of chocolates in India, but he wanted this one from here. So something that is very rare, you don't want to get it wrong. And if you want to relish it, you really, really want to be specific about it. And this is also, I mean, there are several key concepts here, but our meditation also, we want to make it, we should make it very specific. On a specific aspect, we should start building attachment to specific guna, roop, leela of Bhagavan. Of course, starting with Naam. Even the Naam also is specific, having certain attachment to one specific name or few specific names. And specificity is very important in Bhakti because it creates absorption. You can be absorbed in specific things like chocolate, a very simple example. I mean, even like things that we enjoy. Let me think, what might I enjoy now or maybe 30 years ago? Movies, let's say. You want to watch movies of a specific actor and actress whom you like, or a director, or whatever. Specificity creates absorption, creates the rasa, creates the interest, the inherent investment, nivesha. Specificity is very important. That is the point. So in the next verse 46, Arjun is being specific. So this is the specificity verse 46. Very specific as to which form he wants to see. Can you help me here with the Kiritinam gadinam chakrahastam ichhami tvam drashtumaham tathaiva tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte. So you can see the meter flowing very nicely. So this is the Upendra Vajra meter. So he's saying what kind of form I want to see? Kiritinam, with a big helmet, or jisko kehte hain mukut. Now Krishna is not wearing a big helmet. Of course, in the pictures of course, when he's in Dwarka, he is wearing. But Vraj Krishna never wears a helmet. He wears what? Some forest flowers, just a headband of forest flowers is all he wears. So no opulence is not part of Vraj Krishna. So here he's saying Kiritinam, with a mukut, with a big helmet, that form. Gadinam, with a gada. Chakrahastam, in the hand, who is having the chakra, the Sudarshan chakra. So very specific. Ichhami tvam drashtum aham tathaiva. That is the ichha I have to see, drashtum, to see this form I have. And then he's being more specific. Tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena, the four-handed one. Because here, if you see, he is only mentioning two-hand things, though we know that Bhagavan Narayan has four: Shankh, Chakra, Gada, Padma. But he's only mentioning Gada and Chakra in this verse. So it could be that in two hands you can hold two things. Mukut you wear on the head, and Gada and Chakra. So wait. Not any two-handed form. Maybe you will show me some other form where you are holding Gada and Chakra. Maybe the Parashuram form, or maybe some other form. No, I want to see the Chaturbhujena. Again, specific. Okay, so the four-handed form I want to see. And what is the form he wants to end? He doesn't want this form to kind of blend into the Chaturbhuj form. I want to end this. Sahasra bhavo bhava vishwamurte. That this form I don't want to see anymore. Change this form to the Chaturbhuja. Bhava means become the other form. So please end, please finish this form. Sahasra baho, 1,000 hands. That is the universal form, or Vishwarupam, that he wants to end, or he wants to stop seeing now because he is afraid. So all these points are important here. And the key point is specificity. And out of specificity, what happens? This is what happens. The Lord reveals himself according to the desire, according to the request or desire and mood of the devotee. So for the Lord to reveal himself, otherwise you will see the universal form. You'll see everything. That's what the universal form is. If you say to the waiter in the restaurant, get me food, he might get you like a khichdi where there is like everything in it. He doesn't know what to get. Again, I'm kind of being humorous or ridiculous here, but the more specific you are, the more rasa, the more sweetness you will relish. So the Lord will reveal. Lord has infinite forms. Lord does not have finite forms. Okay, now you can say that in the Vedas and Puranas and everything, they are all finite, and certain forms are revealed in those. That means the Lord has finite forms. No, that's not correct. Those are the forms that are given to us through the Puranas, but they are not limited to that. There are many, many, many more which are not mentioned in the Vedas and Puranas, which may not have happened in this Kalpa. It may have happened in a different Kalpa, means a different day of Brahma, in a different universe. There are just unlimited, infinite number of forms of the Lord. And depending on the mood, the volition, the uh, tendency, the desire of the devotee, and of course the qualification, it's not just the desire, it's qualification as well. The Lord reveals himself to the devotee. Okay, so as you can see here, that this is now Arjuna is really requesting the upgrade. The original thing was a downgrade. He was so bhayena, afraid in that vision. It was like a horror show. I think I mentioned it in a later slide. He says, I want to get out of here and I want to be upgraded to the four-handed form and finally the two-handed form. So important points here are specificity and the Lord having infinite forms and revealing himself according to the mood and desire of the devotee. So that is the request of Arjuna. Next, we go to see what happens. The Lord says, 47 to 49 are spoken by Bhagavan. So, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So, again, Maya prasanne tavajunedam rupam param darshitamatma yogat tejomayam vishwamanantamadyam yanme tvadanyena darshtapurvam. So, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Lord begins to speak. Okay. That, first of all, Maya prasannena tavar junedam. I have prasannena, because I'm so happy with you, because of the qualification of the devotee. He's happy. He's happy with Arjuna, because Arjuna is devotee. So that is why Bhagavan is prasannena. With you, tava arjunedam. With you, I am very happy. Rupam param darshitam atma yogat. I showed you what you wanted. Hey, like we just said, Lord is confirming that fact, that for a devotee, which means qualification, and the form that you wanted, I showed you Rupam Param Darshitam Atma Yogat, through my internal potency. Atma Yoga, I showed you that form. So Lord has infinite forms, and through his internal potency, he can show whatever form the devotee desires. So Arjuna desired that form and he saw that form. What form he wanted? Tejomayam Vishwa Anantam Adyam. That which is Tejomayam, full of energy. No ending, Anant, no ending, and Adyam, no beginning. This material world, this Vishwa, so this material form, or form, not material form, but the form in the material world, which has no beginning, no end, and is full of energy, dazzling, Tejo Mayam. So that is the form you wanted. And I showed you that. That's because you desired it, and you are my devotee. So I showed you that. And I showed this form to you, which no one has seen before. Yanme tvad anyena. In this form, tvad, you, anyena, other than. So other than you, na drishtva purvam. Nobody has seen this purvam before, so far. So you are the only one. And Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport there that even when this form was being shown on the battlefield, no one was able to see it. Only Arjun was able to see it, and Sanjay was able to see. na drishta purvam. Okay. Now 48. So even this universal form of the Lord, to see the Lord in any form is very, very rare. This universal form is the form in the material world. All other forms are spiritual forms. This is how he is present in the material world. And there are so many infinite number of forms that are completely spiritual in nature, or I mean, the universal form, there's a whole detailed section in Srimad Bhagavatam where Srila Prabhupada writes it's actually a temporary and illusory form. So, but there are the complete swarupas, such as Lord Narsinghadev, Lord Ram, etc. So, those are forms which are in a higher category spiritually than the universal form. So, all forms, and we will come to that in this chapter a little later, all these forms, so even the universal form is very, very rare to see. And the rarity is mentioned in number 48. So, 48. वेद यज्ञ ध्यनैर्न दानै न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः एवं रूप शक्यहं त्रिलोके drishtum त्वदन्येन कुरु pravira. So, how? So you cannot see these forms through these things. How? Na, you cannot see na Veda Yagya by doing study of the Vedas. Veda Yagya, how do you do Yagya of the Vedas or by the Vedas? Both apply. So of the Vedas means by doing Adhyayan, Adhyayanair. So by doing study of the Vedas. Another way of doing Veda Yagya is by doing Yagyas or various types of ritualistic Yagyas as mentioned in the Vedas. For that also you have to study the Vedas. How can you know how to do a procedure from the Vedas without studying it? So Veda Yagya Adhyayanair na Danaih or Danair, not by charity. Charity is a very good thing. But charity brings one to it elevates the mode of goodness. It brings one to the mode of goodness, and it is an act in the mode of goodness. And it gives one lot of punya karma, but it does not qualify one to see the form of the Lord, to go to the spiritual world. So, na danaihi, na cha kriyabhir. So, by kriya means punya kriya, not papa kriya. So kriya here means pious activities. Punya kriya, na tapobhir, not by tapa. So basically by our own faculties, by our own activities like Veda Adhyayan, Dan, Tap, Punya Karma, etc., etc., we cannot see the Lord. Drashtum tvad anyena kuru pravira. So this form that you have seen cannot be seen by any of these means. So what it means is that we cannot demand to see the Lord, that I have done so much. Okay, I have put in my, I have, so like I have fulfilled my side of the deal. Now you fulfill your side of the deal. It's not a deal. So you cannot say or force the Lord to get darshan, that I have done so much, now you have to give me darshan. That is possible with devatas. Just like Ravana and Hiranyakashipu, they did so much tapa. Lord Brahma with Hiranyakashipu, who gave him the benediction, was not a fool. He knew that Hiranyakashipu is a complete demon, but he was bound. He was forced. So Hiranyakashipu forced Brahmaji to appear out of his extreme tapa. So tapa was the aspect of the most demons. That is what they do. They don't do Veda Dhyayana and Punya Karma. They do all Papa Karma and they never read Vedas. But they do tapa. So They force the demigods to appear and then they get benedictions. But you cannot force Bhagavan in that way at all. Never. So, through our, I don't know how this verse may apply to us because we are not even like Hiranyakashipu. We are worse. We can't even do that level of tapa. So we are not only very feeble in our ability to do tapa, we are very feeble also in our desire to see the Lord. So both are there, and therefore we cannot, it's very, very hard for us to see the Lord. But the only learning here for us is that one should not be confused between bhakti and these acts of punya. So that is the main learning that we get. What is bhakti? That's very important. Dan, tap, punya karma, studying the Vedas. Now, studying Bhakti Shastra. Bhakti Shastras is not studying the Vedas, like studying Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, etc., is not Veda Adhyayan. But there are many people, none of you are doing it here because you have been so much, brainwashed, so to say, or your brain has been washed of all the nonsense. So many people that may be listening to this already are devotees and they are not going into Veda Dhyana. But believe me, there are many, for every devotee who is in bhakti, there are probably 100 out there who are doing Veda Dhyan. Okay, in the world. So this verse, this Veda Dhyan is speaking to them that by all those means, they can get some temporary material benefits, but they cannot get darshan of Bhagavan. Okay. So, but for us, the learning is to not be confused about what is bhakti or what is an act of bhakti. So that's what this verse is saying. Then Lord Krishna says that, so, okay, great. I will now end your misery. I will end the horror movie and I will show a nice, beautiful, I don't know, romantic movie or a movie which is very sweet and pleasing and with, very nice, very nice, very sweet movie which will completely please you. So 49. So this is Upajati. Upajati means a mixture meter. The first two are with starting with Guru, long, and the next two are starting with Lagu. So it's all Indra Vajra or Upendra Vajra. Both are being mixed, and therefore it is Upajati, mixture of Indra and Upendra. Anyway, so let's sing this one. 40. Okay, she joined. Okay. Yeah, Hasini may know these things more at a finer level. So anyway, let's sing this. And maybe I'll ask her if she knows another tune. She can sing that too. Okay, 49. Mate vyatha ch vimudha bhavo drishtva rupam ghormidrimamedam pet bhi pritmana punastvam tadev me rupamidam prapashya. Is there any other way of singing this that anyone knows or wants to sing? Where's Hasini? There she is. Yes.
माते व्यथा मा च विमूढभावो दृष्ट्वा रूपं घोरमीड्रं ममेदं व्यपेतभिः प्रीतमनाः पुनस्त्वं तदेव मे रूपम् इदं प्रपश्य.
Very nice. Thank you. Any other tune that what you sang, Ragatmika Mataji, and what we were singing was very similar, at least to my musically untrained ears. But if anybody knows of any other tune of singing the Indra Vajra or Upendra Vajra, I invite you to unmute and sing it. Hasini, do you know any other tune? I'm calling out on you. Sorry to put you on the spot. I think she may not be here. Okay, never mind. So, 49. Mate vyatha. Vyatha macha vimudha bhavo. So, your vimudha bhava, he's kind of pulling a joke on Arjuna. Vimudha bhava means your bewilderment, but out of your own doing. Vimudha bhava. You didn't know what you were asking for. You didn't know you were stepping into, troubled territory. So let me end your misery. Okay. Mate vyatha macha vimudha bhavo. So you were kind of being a little what's the word? Innocently foolish, I would say. So anyway, you got what you deserved, kind of like in a friendly mood, he's saying. So this is Arjuna. Krishna is pulling a little, teasing Arjuna, and he's trying to bring back the mood of Arjuna for a friend. We also had this discussion last week, whenever we had the last class last week or someone, about this Sakhya Bhav, that whole change from Sakhya to Aishwarya, and how Arjun was now apologizing for being Sakhya. He was saying, I apologize for being a... How can a Sakhya apologize for being a Sakha? And so in this way, Krishna is restoring the Sakhya Bhav of Arjuna as well. By pulling, what do you do among friends? You pull their leg, you tease them, you say these kind of little poking things that to make them to you call them names, all these things. So vimudha bhavo, that you didn't know what you were getting into, you were kind of being foolish. And then drishtva rupam ghoram idrina mamedam, and that's how you got to see, by seeing this ghora. Ghora means horrible, very ghora form and of me, and vyapeta bhi prita manah punastvam. So again, punah, let me calm your mind down. Let me get you back punah to your old form. Okay, tadeva me rupam idam prapashya. By prapashya, by seeing the form of me that you are going to see now. So let me show you a form which will calm you down, which will please you, which will prita manah, which will please your mind again, punah, because earlier he was pleased. The whole Bhagavad Gita, he was like so happy. He was hearing Bhagavad Gita. Then 10th chapter, he said, I want to hear all your vibhutis, and he got even more happy on hearing the vibhutis. And then he said, I want to see your universal form. Then he stepped onto, like, he invited trouble. Now Krishna is saying, let me take you back to the priti manaha, make you happy again. So that is what Krishna is saying, and he will show again to Arjuna a form that Arjuna desired. And Arjuna was very specific this time as to what he desired, so he will get to have his wish fulfilled. Okay. So Arjuna gets to see the Vishwarupa Darshan. Sorry, not Vishwarup. Take it back. Vishnu Rupa Darshan. So from Vishwarupa to Vishnu Rupa, and then back to Krishna. So we will sing this verse. Sanjaya Uvacha. Again combination of Indra and Upendra Vajra. Arjunam Vasudevastathoktva Swakam Rupam Darshayamasa Bhuyah Ashvasayamascha Bhitamenam Bhutva Punar Saumya Vapur Mahatma. So Sanjay says, what does he say? So Sanjay says that Iti Arjunam Vasudevas Tathoktva. In this way, to Arjuna, Vasudeva Tatha Uktva, said to Arjuna. So like this, the Lord spoke to Arjuna and then showed him his Swakam Rupam Darshayamas Bhuyaha. So Bhuyaha is an important word here. Bhuya means what? Who can tell? We have encountered this word so many times, and it means there are some words which tell us a context, or we must understand that there is something here. What is bhuyaha? Means
Again.
Yes, thank you, Shamil. Again. So what does again mean? So he is saying that Swakam Rupam Darshayamas. Let me show you this Rupam, Swakam Rupam Bhuyaha. So which form would this refer to? Vishnu or Krishna? Shamlila Mataji, what do you think?
Prabhuji, Krishna form, the two-handed.
Why?
Because again, that is what like Arjun has been seeing. That is what Krishna Bhagavan has been showing him. So again, back to that.
Very nice. Okay. Back to the Krishna form. That means the whole vision of the Vishnu form and then Krishna form has happened. So it is kind of in a split second or between the 49th and 50th verse, the four-handed form and back to two-handed form occurs. Okay. So bhuya means again cannot refer to four-handed because that was not the form that was shown before. So Arjuna is seeing the two-handed form again to some form, and the again can therefore mean, and it's not the universal form either. He's not, Lord Krishna is not going back to universal form. So again means two-handed form. So but the point is that he showed the four-handed form and then again back to two-handed form. So by the time this verse is being spoken, the four-handed is done, two-handed is here. Okay, Krishna is back. So this is to be understood. So Arjuna sees the Vishnu Rupa, and then Lord comes back, and then in the next two lines, Ashvasayamascha bhitamenam, that he gave ashvasan, means like, encouraged Arjuna, who was very fearful. Bhutva punaha. Again, the word again is coming. Bhuyaha and punaha. Saumya Vapur Mahatma. Mahatma is referring to Krishna, but Saumya Rupam or Saumya Vapu. Saumya means what? Very sweet, gentle, calm, peaceful, pleasurable, pleasing. That is Saumya. So these are the meanings of Saumya. So Lord comes back to, or Lord comes again. Bhutva means he becomes, or shows that form. Again, punaha to Saumya Vapu. So the points here are that Krishna's form, and now please understand that Sanjay is speaking this. Okay, Sanjay is speaking this. The Lord is not saying, I'll come back to my Saumya Rupa. Lord is not saying, hey, I'm Saumya. Sanjay says this, and in the next verse, Arjuna, I think, let me see in the Nayan, Arjuna will also say Saumya Janardana. So both are going to say, not Krishna, but they both are saying that this form, he came back to his, he could have easily said Krishna Rupam, or Arjun says in the next verse, Manusham Rupam. Why is Sanjay saying Saumya Rupam? He had no force, or he had no compulsion to say Saumya Rupam. So he also finds, the point is, he also finds the form of Krishna to be so sweet. So the sweetness of Krishna form is evident to every living entity if he sees with the right mood. And Sanjay is a devotee, and we will see at the end of Bhagavad Gita how he has been affected by Bhagavad Gita. And he says, in fact, that, no doubt Arjun is going to win the war, which kind of is like a dagger through Dhritarashtra's chest. But anyway, yatra yogeshwarah Krishna. So, wherever there is Krishna, there is victory, and there is, joy, and so on. So, where was I? Yeah, so this Saumya Rupa. So, Arjun is saying that the Lord came back to his Saumya Rupa, which means Krishna's form. Punaha is being used, which means again to the Saumya Vapu or Saumya Rupa. Vapu means form or body or form. Yeah. So this part is very significant, especially that, it is Saumya Rupa, but the fact that Sanjay is saying that makes it more significant. I hope you're understanding these finer points of this section. So KC here means key concept. Okay. So not Krishna consciousness. Of course, everything is Krishna consciousness, but KC specifically in this context means key concept. So, for your test and exams, you can, make a note. Anyway, 51. Now we are back to Anushtup, and Arjuna begins to speak. Now, Anushtup, why this whole drama is over, okay, of the universal form and anxiety and all, like, when the movies, something is going on, the music becomes more this one. So same way the meter changes, when it comes back to normal, the music behind also kind of fades away. So the meter changes back to Anushtup as well, because things have calmed down. Saumya Rupam is in view. The sweet, gentle form is in view. All right. So 51, Manusha Rupa. Arjuna Uvacha. Now my mind is on the Indravajra now. How is Anushtup? Drishtvedam Manusham Rupam Tava Saumyam Janardana Idanimasmi Samrittaha Sachetah Prakritim Gataha. So that is Anushtup. So we are back to Anushtup meter. And Arjuna Uvacha. So Arjuna says, Drishtva Edam. This. So this means right now. What is he seeing? So now, as we said, somewhere around the 50th verse, the Lord comes back to the Krishna Rupa. And the Krishna Rupa is Manusha Rupa. Manusha means the two-handed form. Like a human. We can more relate to Krishna as one among us. And that is very important, because then only we can have those bhavas of Sakhya, Dasya, etc. Somebody whom Dasya, not as a master, not as the great master, but as a loving master or a loving person you serve. So, Drishtvam Edam Manusham Rupam, in this human-like form, on seeing this human form, Tava Saumyam Janardana. your Saumya. Again, Arjun confirms that this is Saumya. So he is, now Arjun is not hearing what Sanjay is saying over there. Okay, so there Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, Saumya Vapu. Here Arjuna is using the same language, Saumya, just to re-emphasize. And Krishna agrees. I mean, this is just re-emphasis. If the reason why Arjuna's words are important is because if Krishna disagrees with that, anything that Arjun is saying, he would correct it. So wherever Arjun says anything and Krishna does not modify it or change it or correct it, it means Krishna is putting his stamp of authority on all of Arjuna's statements. So even though Arjun is saying something, we must accept it as if Krishna is saying that, because Krishna is not checking it. So, Tava Saumyam Janardana, my dear sweet Bhagavan Janardana, Idanima Asmi Samvrittaha. I am Samvrittaha, means I am now settled. All that bhaya and all those emotions that were coming up of fear and anxiety and being horrified, they're all being settled. They're all going away. Sachetaha Prakritim Gataha. Sachetaha Prakritim Gataha is very important, that I am back to my natural state. You are back in your sweetest form. I am used to seeing that, and I am back to my natural state. And that is where I want to be. Sachetaha Prakriti. Prakriti means natural. Prakriti means nature. Prakriti means, in this case, natural. Gataha. I am going to my, or I have gone to my natural state. Ha. Horror show is over. Thank God. Never coming to see this movie again, kind of thing. So that is Arjuna's mood. So Arjuna speaks that. Okay, great. So that is the ending of the whole sort of activity. Now the Lord summarizes in the last 4 verses, 52 to 55. The Lord is going to summarize many, many concepts, and this is a very, very important part of the chapter. So please pay very good attention. Not just attention, try to see what you can learn from it and apply it. And we will talk about some of that towards the end. So number 52, once again, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So now everything is on Anushtup. We are back into the instruction phase, because this is Gita Upadesh, instruction, the Gita Upadesha. So it's an instruction. So Lord Krishna is saying, Sudurdarsham idam. So let's sing it. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Sudurdarsham idam rupam drishtvanasiyan mama devapyasya rupasya nityam darshana kankshina. So Sudurdarsham, Srila Prabhupada points out in the purport, the word, the letter Su is not just being put there to fit the meter, okay? Bhagavan can have a million ways to formulate a meter, okay? Sudurdarsham means, Durdarsha means hard to see or rare to see. Sudurdarsha, like apichet suduracharo, like, very, very, very abominable activity even if one does. Remember, we had long discussion, 9th chapter, 9.30. Similarly, Sudurdarsham. Durdarsham means rare to see. Su means very, very rare to see. So universal form may be rare. Vishnu form is more rare, and Krishna form is very, very rare. Okay? That is why even the devatas get confused. In the Bhagavatam, we have 2 major devatas. Brahma, the topmost living entity, he gets confused. And then the Lord of the Devatas, who is Indra, king of Devatas. The 2 people that you would name, they get confused about who is Krishna. So it's not, and here he will say the word tattva. Where does he say this? What the hell is going on? Yeah, 54th, Gyatum Drashtum Cha Tattvena. So even though you may see Krishna in front of you, just like Duryodhan saw, Indra also saw, and he says he's a chapal balak. Bahut bolta hai. Chap, 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 like chatter, chatter. Let me shut him up. One slap and he will be shut up. And he sent a few things like his, what is it? Some, no. Samantak nahi. Yeah. Samvartak. Clouds and his thunderbolt and all. And he got the slap on his face. कहते हैं भगवान ने भिगो के मारा. So even by seeing, one may not realize the essence, tattva, and that is what is rare. We can all see Krishna. You go to any temple, you will see deity of Krishna. You will see thousands of pictures of Krishna. You will hear the description of Krishna's form in books, in devotional books. Bhagavatam has so many verses. We read this beautiful verse of what is that, Natavara, in the Brahmana Patnis, how the Brahmana Patnis saw this beautiful, like a actor-like form with various paints on his face of various minerals from the land of Vraja. Very beautiful forms. So there are all these descriptions, but getting to know the essence is hard. That is sudurdarsham, hard. Very, very hard. Idam rupam. So sudurdarsham idam rupam drishtvanasi yan mama. That you are seeing, what you are seeing, my dear Arjuna, of me, yan mama, this form is very, very rare. So don't take it lightly. Now, also what it means is that for us to hear about this is also very rare. Now you can imagine, oh, I'm hearing it for free. I just joined on Zoom. I, didn't it's like I'm sitting in the comfort of my home. I'm just, turning on my computer and hearing. But please consider how rare this is. You could have been doing a million things and you are hearing about Krishna, at least even if theoretically you're not maybe into the full gyan of the tattva of who is Krishna, and you're not going crazy about him like the gopis are, but still it's still fairly rare to sit down and hear about Krishna. Seeing Krishna is, of course, far more rare. Drishtvanasi yan mama. Deva apyasya rupasya nityam darshan akankshinah. Akanksha means desire. So drishya kankshinaha means to just see this form. They are always desiring. Once they know that this is the Krishna form, even the Narayan form, Vishnu form, they cannot see. In the Bhagavatam, in the beginning, when all the demigods, they assemble to invite Lord Vishnu to come down to the earth. This is the 10th canto, 1st chapter. They only hear Bhagwan's voice, Lord Narayan's voice. They don't even get to see him. So getting to see Bhagwan, even for the Devatas, is very hard. So never underestimate the power, not the power, the benediction or the significance of seeing Krishna, even hearing about Krishna. You're very lucky that you're hearing Bhagavad Gita. Consider yourself very lucky to see Krishna in the temple. In all these other temples, you get to see, and you see devotees, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, and to see the deity becomes a lower priority. You get to see all the people, but seeing the deity, and then even seeing devotees, that too pure devotees, is also very rare. People, don't understand the gravity of seeing, having the opportunity to meet, to to sit down and talk and even see and hear from devotees, and that too senior devotees. I know some people, they've been waiting for years, 2, 3, 4 years to just get 5 minutes with a very pure devotee. And they cannot. They may travel or halfway around the world and only to find out, oh, he's not there. And it's not like his schedule is published, itinerary. This day I'll be here and this day I will be here. They don't do that. Some of the devotees, they're just, completely dependent on the Lord. They are here one day and there that other day. And if you have to see them, then, you have to put in effort to see them. Just like, you go to Tirupati to get darshan, you have to stand 2 days, 5 hours, 10 hours in line. And then you get 3 seconds of darshan and then Govinda, and you've become so emotional. And, that's because you have gone through that pain. So you feel the value. And here you can stand in Portland Temple for hours and get free darshan with no line. We don't see the value of these things. So when we get association of devotees, we don't see the value. And then when you have to go all the way to India to some village and get 3 minutes or 5 minutes to ask one question, you think, my life is successful. And then some devotee is giving you 2 hours and 3 hours. I don't want it. Or I want it in this way or that way or this or that or there. You put like all this, one is like, oh my God, like we need to be able to understand the value of seeing Bhagavan, of seeing pure devotees of Bhagavan. We should understand what fortune it is to do this, and not think that it is easy when it will be lost. Most people, when people are with them, they dutkarte hain. What's the meaning? Don't value. When they die, then they've been long, oh my God, and if I could get one day back with my father or my mother or my friend or this, I would give anything for that. When they were living with you, then all the fighting was going on, or so many things. So it's we must realize how important it is to get the darshan of Bhagwan in the temple. We may not have eyes, our eyesight may go, or we might something may happen that to travel to temple. There are people who live 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours away. They cannot come to the temple. Here in 15 minutes one can go. People who live in Vrindavan, sometimes they don't go to the temple to see Bhagwan. They don't go here or there. They all these other things. And we are, people are traveling, half the way around the world. They know the value. So, yeah. So one has to realize. So a good way to realize is assume you have it, and then it's taken away. And then what will you feel? Better to value it while you have it. Somehow tell your mind, this is valuable. It's not going to last. Let me value it while it lasts. So this is important. Okay. So these devatas, on the one hand, they are darshana akankshanaha, and when they are getting to see the form of the Lord, then they are, what you say? Not realizing. Indra. 53. So what slide are we on? Yeah. Okay, so Sudurdarsham, and even Devatas cannot see. And that's because Devatas, and this is another very important point. Sorry, because there's some time, so I'm going a little deeper. What are devatas? So devatas, we said, are very good devotees. That's why anya devaha avagya. This is one of the don'ts, the 17th limb of Bhakti by Sri Rupa Goswami. Do not disrespect devatas because they are very, very elevated devotees. But they are in mixed Bhakti. They are not in Shuddha Bhakti. Okay? Shuddha Bhakti as in the, for example, Vrajvasis or so many other Shuddha Bhaktas are there. So that is because there is too much entanglement with material nature. Now, in fact, I don't know the reference of this, but I have read this. I don't know the exact narration, but I'll tell you this. Prahlad Maharaj, his devotion is unquestioned and unparalleled. Agreed? One time he went into somewhere in the chamber of Hiranyakashipu, or where he had, kept his whatever treasure. Immediately, Prahlad Maharaj got, and I'm going to try to find out the reference, so please excuse me. So maybe this is not true. So with that grain of salt, I'm sharing this pastime. Even Prahlad Maharaj got a sense of anger. Vishnu killed my father. And my father was, very, how come I want to avenge Vishnu. And immediately he got like, wait a minute, what the hell am I thinking? What's going on with me? That was due to the very temporary, momentary association with his father's whatever, energy in that, wherever, I can't remember the exact thing. So the point is that material energy is very, very strong. And even if somebody like Prahlad Maharaj can, momentarily get affected, of course, the devatas and all are very strongly entangled in material nature, and how much they will get affected. And no wonder Indra got so crazy, so foolish. He tried to kill the Vrajvasis by drowning them. It was not that he was trying to just harass them. He was pretty much going to kill them by flooding the whole Vraj. So the extent to which one can go when one is entangled with material nature is very, very dangerous. And this is another important point for things. Now, one thing that comes to my mind is administration, because the devatas are with administration, dealing with administration of the material nature, and they have to administer, they have to manage material nature, people, things. It's a lot of interaction with material nature, and they get bewildered. There are so many instances in the Bhagavatam. Of course, Indra is there. Today, he is the bad guy in today's class. There is also Varunadev. There are so many senior, or so to say, devatas who get bewildered out of their not directly Varun Dev, but he's responsible. I mean, he should have known better. He should have trained his servants better. And that too in Yamuna, in Vrindavan, it's not lost that Krishna is out there. So you put your best people watching the river. You don't just capture Nanda Maharaj like that. So it was his fault in that sense, and he apologizes. So administrative activities causes entanglement with material nature, and due to many things, because first of all, it brings a lot of facilities, just like a big administrator, IAS officer. He gets a bungalow, he gets so many servants, car, the more responsibility you get, the more facilities are given so that you can discharge those responsible duties. The President of United States gets a whole aeroplane, Air Force One or whatever. And the opulence and the pride, worship, following, everything that comes with it gets in the head. And it definitely gets in the head. And when it can get in the head of Indra and Brahma and all these other very senior people, तो हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, हम किस खेत की मूली हैं? What's our hope? So we have to be very, very careful when we engage with material nature. And that's why this takes us to another point that, okay, to preach, I think I was bringing this up earlier, this whole any projects that are result oriented are in this domain of administration and engagement with material nature. I have to have this result. This much money has to be raised, or this end result has to occur, or this, and then you're given facilities to fulfill it. And just the dealing with material nature, with people and all, creates the chatter can in the head, plus the facilities and the opulence given also get to the head. All of that happens. If you want to preach, just speak. Do it as a seva with no dependence on anyone. And whether one comes or doesn't come, that's the mood that Srila Prabhupada adopted. And because his speech was pure, people came. And if that would not have been the case, people wouldn't have come. It's not like people did not go to the West, or Srila Prabhupada had this one brilliant, miraculous idea, I will go to the West. Everybody was trying to go to the West and trying to spread the message. Why is Srila Prabhupada's name became householder name? Because there was power and purity in his speech. But he was not like, he didn't catch people from their homes and said, you make me Hare Krishna the household name. He didn't force it. So that would be a mood. So an important learning here is that through this, why the Devatas find it hard to see is because they are bahirmukh. Mixture with material nature creates bahirmukhta, or turning away from Krishna. So this is very important. We must try to eliminate as much bahirmukhta as possible. Any service of Bhagavan that we do will require us to talk to people, engage with material nature, but we should not make our Krishna consciousness dependent on results, that unless this happens, I will be happy. Then we are putting our peace of mind and our consciousness in the hands of the result, or those who we depend on for the successful outcome or the successful result. And that creates problems. So this should be understood. And that's why, I'm talking to somebody who's been 40 years into the movement and built a lot of temples and been occupied many posts and this and that throughout his life, and saying kind of expressing that I was just doing that, and this whole, that's very nice, but there has to be this balance. This one should not forget that this Ananya Bhakti, that this Shuddha Bhakti is very important. Yeah, anyway, I'll not say much. So that is on the aspect of Darshana Kankshinaha. Even the Devatas are are desperate to see this form. It's so rare. And that's what we are aiming for. We are aiming for Krishna Prema, for Goloka Vrindavan. So if that's what the aim is, then we need to understand what the requirements are or what the qualification is. Never be confused about the qualification and the goal. Make your goal lower, then you can reduce the qualification also. We try to keep the goal very high to Goloka Vrindavan and Krishna Prema, and qualification very low. So we come to qualifications and disqualifications very naturally. So once again, so 53rd verse, Lord Krishna is telling us the 53 and 54, he's telling us the qualifications and disqualifications. So first he starts with disqualifications, which are same as before. Let's sing that. Naham vedai na tapasa na dane na jaya shakya evam vidho drashtum drishtavanasi mam yatha. So same as before, na aham vedaihi na tapasa. So not by Veda Adhyayan or tapa. Na danena na cha ijyaya. Ijya means worship. So worship means ritualistic worship. It's not worship with full heart in it. It's the ritualistic chanting of the mantras from the Vedas, throwing the offerings into the fire, just kind of following. Did I follow all the 49 steps? Yes, perfectly followed 49 steps. The most important step, which was, hey, while following the 49 steps, try to completely think of Krishna, that step forgot. Rest, all the 49 steps were perfectly followed. This item was to be put in the fire, and this quantity and this quality, very high quality ghee, very high quality bananas and flowers, everything top class. But mind was not in Krishna. The mind was all in how to do it perfectly so that I can get the result. So all that is what is referred to by ijya. Ijya means worship in that mood which is devoid of bhakti or devoid of absorption in Krishna. And of course, dan, tapa, and Veda. So na aham vedai na tapasa na danen na cha ijjaya and shakya evam vidho drishtum. Shakya means it's possible. So the na is there. Na shakya. It is not possible. Evam vidho, by these vidhis. And again, vidhi is a very important word because all this is in the category of Vaidhi Bhakti for those who have studied Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which means without real absorption or attachment to Krishna or to the act of Bhakti. There is no attachment to that. Perhaps there is attachment to the result of that. So, evam vidho drashtum, you cannot see. Na shakya drashtum, not possible to see, in sort of that English language sequence. Okay, so it is not possible to see. What not possible to see? The form that you are seeing now. Drishtvan asi mam yatha. Mam yatha, as you are seeing now. Yatha. We say Bhagavad Gita yatha roop, as it is. So as you are seeing, yatha means as you are seeing now. Because you are a Shuddha Bhakta Arjun. But I am telling that this form is not possible to see with these criteria. So those are the disqualifications. So again, the concept here is to not be confused about what is the qualification and what is not the qualification. So these are the disqualifications or non-qualifications of seeing Krishna. All right. '54. So I'm reading through the book and I'm reading through the verses, but please make sure you have the book in front of you, okay? Otherwise, half of this material will not make sense if you don't have the book. Everybody has the book in front? Very good. Okay. Thank you. So, number 53. So, these verses have long purports. 52, 54, and 55 have especially long purports. So, we are into 54. So, 53 was the disqualification. And 54 is a memorization verse for your Bhakti Shastri, which means it's an important verse. Even those who are not doing Bhakti Shastri should memorize. And 55 also. Okay. So, 54. Okay. Bhaktya tvananya shakya aham evam vidhorjuna Gyatum drashtum na cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. So, again, the word shakya means possible, and there is no na here. Na shakya is not there like in the previous verse. It is possible. How is it possible? Bhaktya tva ananya. So once again, the same thing has been repeated over and over and over again. Okay, ananyas chintayanto mam. Ananya bhakti, which means it doesn't just mean ananya means exclusive to Krishna, but also no other investment, no other material investment anywhere else. So that ananya bhakti, which means and giving up everything else. Krishna will say this pretty much in the next verse also. So only by ananya bhakti. So what are the qualifications? Ananya bhakti is the qualification. Aham evam vidho Arjuna. Like this, what you are seeing. Ananya bhakti. So now the bhakti also is Vaidhi bhakti is also there, but there are specific limbs of Vaidhi bhakti. There is vidhi for bhakti also. Now the best, topmost bhakti is raga bhakti, out of genuine interest. But till that is not there in the heart, one can follow the do's and don'ts or the rules of bhakti known as Vaidhi bhakti. That's also very nice. So aham evam vidho Arjuna. But still one should do that with as much absorption as possible. At least materially, one should invest full capacity into bhakti, whether it is Vaidhi or Raganuga, automatically it will be there. There is no question of 100% or not. It will be 100%. Everything else will be like a tax. Even sleeping will feel like, oh my God, I really have to sleep. Otherwise, tomorrow I will not be able to function properly, or I have to eat. Or you might have seen such people, workaholics and all, who have the rag for work. Oh, eating, going to lunch is like a tax they have to pay because it's all about work, work, work. So that is raga for something, and similarly you have raga for Krishna. We will discuss this in Bhakti Samrita Sindhu. But that is the highest Ananya Bhakti, but also Vaidhi Bhakti can be Ananya. Ananya means just full absorption or at least full investment. And Gyatum, and by doing that, can one know Gyatum Drashtum Cha Tatvena. It's a very important line. One can know and see. Gyatum, know, Drashtum, see. In essence, Tatvena, not like superficially, really to understand who is Bhagwan. And very important to understand is how important is his name, because that is the access we have. Bhagwan is very important, fine. He's sitting in Vaikuntha or he's sitting in the heart of pure devotees. My heart is very black and Bhagwan is not in my heart. I mean, of course, he's there as Paramatma, but really as Bhagwan, he's not in my heart because I have so many other things in my heart. So, Gyatum, Drashtum, so Tatcha To know Bhagwan in essence is not there. To know Bhagwan, the essence of Bhagwan's name, it is so important that if I miss 5 minutes of my life taking his name, it should feel like 5 minutes gone. That should be the feeling. Oh my God, 5 minutes gone in my next 40 years of life. One may think, what is 5 minutes? But one should value it like that. There is this story, I'll say it in very short. There was this king who was told, okay, you run around the whole countryside. How much ever you run, you have to come back to the starting point. Whatever loop you make, all that land will be yours. This person was very excited. Oh, just by running around and making a loop, I can make land mine, that loop. He kept running. The whole day, every step he was thinking, one more step. If I miss this step, I will miss an opportunity to own this part of the land, this extra step. And he kept running. By the time he came back, he died on the way, got a heart attack out of the running. That is the amount of raga. That's the amount of value we put on material things, property. Every step, he could have taken some short steps. He could have given up some land. Chalo, I don't want. He could have finished the loop and at least owned that much. But he valued every step of land so much that he gave up his life for it. Do we value every 5 minutes of our life like that? That these 5 minutes I have not taken the name. So we have to be like that. Most of us are like that for property. So we should become like that for name. So that would be Gyatum Drishtum Cha Tattvena. Then we will understand Tattva of Naam, how important it is. And then Praveshtum Cha Parantapa. Then you can enter into Bhagwan's kingdom, Golok Vrindavan. So that is the qualification. That's the entry ticket. Not Veda, Tapa, Dana, Punya Karma, Ijya. All those things are not going to provide the eligibility. But knowing Krishna, Ananya Bhakti will provide that eligibility. Okay. So to know Krishna in Tattva, that Ananya Bhakti, that is Ananya Bhakti. And that will make you enter into Krishna's abode. So only 100%, so total absorption, 100% absorption, like we are 100% absorbed into material things. Just look at your own mind right now. What else is going on? I'm thinking, 23 minutes left for the class. Then I will do this. Then I will do this other thing, another thing. Whatever we are focusing our mind on, we should think about Krishna like that, oh, I'm doing these other things. When will I think of Krishna or do some Krishna Bhakti? That should be the total perpetual absorption, 100% of the time. And in that time, 100% absorption. That will lead to Krishna. So this Ananya Bhakti has been described here or mentioned here, and then the next verse, which is also a memorization verse. I didn't put it as a requirement because I have a number limit on a certain number. Otherwise, it will be like exceed the number. So I had to forcibly skip number 55. But it is almost like a memorization verse. I don't think it's in the list. Somebody can correct me. But it should have been on the list. Okay. It's a very important verse. So what is 55 tells us what is, gives a glimpse of what is Ananya Bhakti. Very important verse. So we'll recite it. Karma Krinmat Paramo Madbhakta Sangavarjitaha Nirvaira Sarvabhuteshu Yasamameti Pandava. So what is Ananya Bhakti? So Krishna is giving us a glimpse of what is Ananya Bhakti. Mat Karma Krin. do my work, karma krin. So it's not like you have to just sit in dhyan mudra and not do anything. Bhakti is full of action, activity. Bhakti is defined, sadhana bhakti, how it is defined? Shamlila Mataji, you know that?
Yes, Prabhuji. Performing actions using your senses that will lead to bhav.
Very good. So bhakti is that, sadhana bhakti is that which is performed using the senses. And one of the sense organ is also mind. So this action or activity can also be done at the mind level, but also at the other limbs, other senses, hands, tongue, ears, eyes. There's a beautiful description of how Ambarish Maharaj used all his senses, his eyes, his nose, his mouth, his ears, his hands, his legs, everything in bhakti. 9.4.17, 18, 19, I think. How it starts, I'm forgetting. Charana Padara Vindayo. Anybody remember? Very famous verses. 9.4.17, 18, 19. So that is bhakti using the senses. So there is activity, there is a lot of action. Maybe I'll just show that. Huh? Not Vasudeva Bhagavati. Padaravindayo. Yes, that one. What are the numbers? 18 to 20. So yeah, I was off by one. Let me show this. Library, Srimad Bhagavatam, 9.4 and 18 to 20, 3 verses. Savai Manaha Krishna Padaravindayo. So I'll just read the translation. And this is bhakti, how you can use all your senses in bhakti. And this may sound like, blah, 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 blah. You can do this, you can do that, you can do that. I know it. I've heard this 200 times. If you think like that, then it's fine, whatever. With complete absorption, with as if it's like, your loved one has died and this is the last sight you will get of their body, like that whole Pahalgam attack or whatever happened, and somebody is getting the last sight of the body. I still remember when my mom died, and when I pushed her her body into the oven, whatever we call here. What do you call here? For the cremation. That last, huh? Incinerator. Yeah, I still remember that vision, that last sight when that window, or not window, the door was coming down on pressing the button. That last sight of my mom, I'll never forget. Like that, to see Krishna, to see somebody you love, like I will never see this again, with that focus, with that absorption when you see. So, that's like the seeing what Ambarish Maharaj is doing. It's not like, I know this, I do this, or what's the big deal? What the heck? Then you'll lose the point. So the translation is Maharaj Ambarish always engaged his mind meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna. His words in describing the glories of the Lord, his hands in cleansing the Lord's temple. So you can see all his bodily senses, including the mind, but even the hands, eyes, ears, nose. His ears in hearing the words spoken by Krishna or about Krishna by others. He engaged his eyes in seeing the deity of Krishna, just like you will see in Tirupati for 3 seconds before the chaprasi or what that guard will say, chala, chala. What do you say in Telugu? I don't know, because Tirupati is in Telugu, whatever, when you're like,
Jaragandi, Prabhuji.
Huh?
Jaragandi.
Jaragandi. And they'll push you, and you're like, oh, please, and then you'll pass a 500 rupee note. Please, 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 please. And then he will say, okay, fine. Stay here for 30 seconds. And you're so happy, and you're trying to see the Lord, and the Lord is covered with all flowers and everything in the dark. sanctum, and you're trying to see where is his face and where is his, you're fully absorbed, there, okay, take 500 more rupees. Please let me be here for 30 more seconds. I want to see the Lord. Like that, you should see all the time the Lord or his devotees. So that should be the focus. So he engaged his eyes in seeing the deity of Krishna, Krishna's temples and Krishna's places, like Mathura and Vrindavan. He engaged his sense of touch in touching the bodies of the Lord's devotees. He engaged his sense of smell in smelling the fragrance of tulsi offered to the Lord. He engaged his tongue in tasting the Lord's prasad. He engaged his legs in walking to the holy places and temples of the Lord, his head in bowing down before the Lord, and all of his desires in serving the Lord 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. Indeed, Maharaj Ambarish never desired anything for his own sense gratification. He engaged all his senses in devotional service, in various engagements related to the Lord. This is the way to increase attachment to the Lord and be completely free from all material desires. So a lot of action going on. If you ever have a doubt that bhakti does not have action, then you can read this section of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So, mat karma krin, first phrase. Mat paramo, considers me as the supreme, and not just supreme, but the only goal. It's not supreme like 51% or even 75% or 90%. 100%. There has to be anyabhilashita shunyam. Srila Prabhupada quotes that in the purport of the previous verse. No other desires. Mat paramo. Mat bhakta. He's my devotee. And here is the other part. Sangha varjitaha. This means nothing else. Sangha of what? Varjita means given up. So, Sangha of what is given up? Everything that is material. Whatever our material engagements are, one has to try to give it up. Try to realize the futility, temporariness, and one day it will come back and give us misery. One day it will definitely give us misery. At best, it will be temporary. It may leave us with good memories, but it will be temporary. Okay. So giving up all such attachments, shelters, engagements. And very important, nirvaira sarva bhuteshu. Nirvaira. No enmity, no inimical, nothing in the heart for any living entity, including people. Of course, people love dogs, but they don't love other people. So, nirvaira sarva bhuteshu should really mean sarva manushyeshu. People is first who we should start loving. It's much easier to love dogs and cats because, of obvious reasons, they don't respond back. So, not inimical to any living entity is very hard, and this comes with not having demands, having only Krishna, Sri Radha and Krishna as the only shelter, that all my desires are fulfilled if they are happy. And we do whatever we can in our capacity, but with 100% investment of our faculties of time, energy, body, everything in serving Sri Radha and Krishna. Don't demand anything from anyone. If you want to serve them and you don't have money, you don't demand from somebody and you give me the money and then I will serve. Or, I need a ticket to go to Vrindavan. If you don't have money to go to Vrindavan, wherever you are, nowhere it is written that it is a must. Nama Sankirtana or Nama Kirtan can be done anywhere, even in jail. What to speak of, in Vrindavan or in a holy place. It can be done in the most dark of places. So that creates non-inimicalness to others because you don't expect anything from others and you are happy with whatever comes. Alabdheva vinashteva bhaksha chhadan sadhane. And the important things, aviklava matir bhutva harim eva dhiyasmarit. That is the important. Harim eva dhiyasmarit. On Hari, your dhiya, your mind is always on Hari. So such is Ananya Bhakti. And he says, Yasa mameti Pandava. Such a person comes to me. So this is giving a glimpse of Ananya Bhakti. And we should start to figure out, are we doing it or are we not? So I will end the class. So that's the end of the chapter. I'll end the class by putting some key takeaways. So we must make a plan for Ananya Bhakti. What is our plan? If you're not even planning to do Ananya Bhakti, I don't know what you are doing in this class. Okay, it's a waste of your time. Really, it's a waste of your time. You should just go and do whatever else you should be doing. At least there need to be a desire that, yes, I want to do this. I've heard Bhagavad Gita and I really want to do this. If you think it's not for you, you should really think, why do you think it's not for you? Why did you get this human life? One day you'll be dead. Is that what you would want out of your life? And then if that is the case, then go enjoy fully. Whatever time is left, you're not going to be living forever. Go enjoy to the fullest. Eat, drink, be merry, do YOLO. Live a YOLO life. What is YOLO? You live only once. Just go and maximize your enjoyment. At least when you'll be on your deathbed, you'll think that I could not have enjoyed more. If not, then what are you waiting for? Really? I'm not saying keeping Krishna front and center all the time, but keeping this thought in front and center of your mind, that is Ananya Bhakti for me? If yes, what am I going to do about it? That thought, at least the desire and the plan. And one of the things that you could do is to discover all the little things in your life that are coming in the way of your Ananya Bhakti. Let's say you think today, every morning, if you think, today I want to do Ananya Bhakti. Today I want to fully dedicate to Krishna. And then something will happen. I guarantee that something will happen. Some pop-up will come, something will come, somebody WhatsApp message will come. Hey, what about that? Hey, you told me you'll give me this or that, or something, you'll get reminded. And then, half an hour, 2 hours, whole day gone. And that's what comes in the way of some entanglements. You have too many WhatsApps, too many of them, too many people wanting things from you. And in return, you give it to them because you will want things from them. It's like, that huge social exchange. Social exchange is good, but, it's with the kind of people who are not into Ananya Bhakti. And then you're getting their consciousness. Hey, let's go here. Let's do this. Hey, this is a new product that came in Costco today. Let's go get it. And you're engaging with people like that, and then you're wondering what happened to my Ananya Bhakti. So be on this crusade to eliminate entanglements, or at least make a plan to eliminate them. Now, I'm not saying eliminate your family. Make your family Krishna conscious if possible. I'm not saying eliminate your job, but make a plan to eliminate it in the future. Plan out, okay, I need this much savings for myself. Even Rupa Goswami said you need to have something saved. And don't overspend on stuff, because then you'll have fewer savings and then you'll have to work longer. So all that is part of the plan. Getting rid of entanglements, getting rid of things that come in the way of your bhakti. And be on this crusade to create a firm, very good infrastructure that will support your bhakti. And the infrastructure that supports bhakti is the one which has fewer and fewer dependencies. It won't happen by itself. You have to create that infrastructure for Ananya Bhakti. That is why it is said, okay, living a life of a sadhu in Vrindavan is like, very conducive, because there are no dependencies. But we cannot do that. So we should eliminate as much as possible. I'm not saying go become a sadhu in Vrindavan, where you go and do madhukari and go beg for even food. You don't even know whether you will get next meal or not. That's not our level. But eliminating dependencies to the minimum. We just finished the tax season, April 15th. It was such a mess. All these when you look at your taxes, you see how much entanglements there are in your life. Your taxes should be such that you just file it in 5 minutes. Here's how much I earned. Here's the tax, done. We have this property and that investment and that bank and this form, whatever, 1090 and 29 and complications. It gives you just a little bit sense of how much entanglements are there. So that's the thing. So please consider it very, very seriously in your life about Ananya Bhakti. This life will not come back. It's now or never. And it's not, Krishna is not saying, Acharyas are not saying that you should just, eliminate everything. But make a plan to do bhakti with minimal needs of infrastructure and create that infrastructure. That's the point. All right, so that's the end of the discussion today. And next chapter we will start in a couple of weeks. I think we are going to be gone for some time. So we'll again announce and we'll continue chapter 12. Keep doing your homework, keep memorizing the verses. Chapter 12 is small. We will finish it in some time. And then for those doing Bhakti Shastri, get ready for the test. So keep revising that, and I'll be posting the 10th and 11th chapter homework soon. Now, 10th I already posted. So 11th and 12th I will post soon, and then test, and then we will go to chapter 13. Right? Any comments or questions? Everything is super clear, which is good. So thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Shri
Jai Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.